Fuck. Shit, lighter. Okay. Just doing a live stream. Don't know if anyone's gonna pop or anything. And I just got bored and I said, fuck it, just do a live stream. And because maybe somebody will come in and I'll talk about it. Maybe somebody won't. And if they don't, I'll still talk about it. It's not a big deal. It's happened before. It's not like I can't get money. It's not like I can't get money or anything. I have plenty of money. It's just that I don't want to go through my financial person. I'd just rather wait for my weekly check. I waited. Well, what I did was I overspent. And on Amazon. And I was like, what the fuck? How did I do the math wrong on that shit? You know, because I remembered I had to save $70 for my phone and I needed to get some groceries. And the next thing I know, everything I bought on Amazon. And I don't know why. I'm like, why did I do that? But hey, it's not much different if I get an Uber ride. I mean, well, it's costing more, but you know, yeah, I do a lot of shopping on there, and I really didn't get any food stuff. So when I went and looked at my cart, I couldn't fucking believe it. Or well, I went to buy something at a store and I couldn't believe it. It was turned down. I said, what? So I checked into it, and yeah, indeed, my math was fucking flawed. My math was super flawed. How the fuck did I do that? And so, but you know, if I want to, I can just call my financial person and request money. But sometimes that takes another day for it to go through. So I don't even want to talk to her. Okay, she's not somebody I'm not on board with her mentality, but I can't really just run and find another financial person that quickly, just because I got lots of things I need to do really soon, and I don't want there to be any mix up with who's my financial person at the time. So I ended up going broke. I went broke on my fucking card, so it's not a big deal. I get paid every week, and plus if I want to, like I said, I can request money, you know, and get it the next day. But I just decided, no, I don't want to do that. You know, I overspent. It was my fault. I overspent on Amazon, forgot to buy my own fucking food. And literally, you know, just because I don't want to fucking go through that person that I feel like has a sociological issue with politics, which she doesn't talk about, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You know, she's probably a Democrat on top of it. So my goddamn financial person is a fucking Democrat, which sucks dick. I ain't gonna lie. If she's not, I wouldn't put it past that I'm wrong, that she's maybe a Trump supporter. It's just maybe she just fucking has too many clients. A lot of people these days, they overbook on purpose in case the people drop off and stuff. That's what doctors do. They overbook on purpose. A lot of them will get called quacks just because they overbook. But, you know, doctors overbook because, you know, depending on the doctor as well. If it's a pain doctor, they'll overbook all the time. So if no one comes in chat, who cares? I don't know if I plan on being here too long anyway. I'm just, I took my dog for a walk and he got some good exercise. He could get some more though. He could probably use some more. Right, Boo-Boo? Yeah. He's got his spike color on right now. He's looking bad ass that thing. It makes them look really profound. You want to see? Oops. My floor is a mess. All right, so my floor is a fucking mess. I got shit over the floor over there. Don't ask, all right? Don't ask. I have a problem. Once I slip on cleaning, I slip for all good until someone comes by and cleans it. That's just how my mind works. It's probably part of my disability. Part of my mentality is maintenance of my room has never been something I cared about, or my house, or whatever. But when it's clean to begin with, I care about it, and then I keep it that way as long as I feel I can, until I start having extreme pain issues or something. I end up laying down too much. Then the shit starts to go south. So I do need to clean up my floor up here. This room here really doesn't have much trash. It has some stuff on the floor, needs to be cleaned up. That's simple. This room is basically clean though. Other than that, it's clean. So. And it's my workshop, for my skateboard. So a lot of that shit you saw over there, it's just when I get home, I'm dripping in sweat. I throw shit on the ground. I don't give a fuck. And I had to set this computer up, so there's trash laying over there from that. But excuses, right? All right. So if there's nobody in chat, I don't care, because this is just a new policy of mine. I'm going to do live streams whether they do or not. Because I look at it like this: if you're trying to land in any kind of algorithm on YouTube, whether they are against you or not, it's going to help you to do some live streams, because a lot of people do live streams. And so, not that I care, but at least when I'm done with the live stream, some people may watch it after that. It's still just like making a video. And if it's echoing here, I apologize. Yes, the audio on this fucking laptop, this HP, not good. The audio sucks, so I'm going to have to look into that. Maybe I should just get a mic for it. Maybe this has its own mic. I don't know, a separate mic. I have other mics. I just haven't changed it over to another mic, but I can do that. These videos of mine are going to be hard to watch, probably because of the audio, until I do get another mic again. I just forgot to. And I have learned that you can use these things. You can use these things without fail. These things may be mostly a mythical weapon in history, but I'll be honest with you, these can be used. People say, well, when you whip this shit around, those balls are going to ricochet off wherever they hit. Not necessarily. It depends. The weight of the balls, as long as you swing it hard enough, and you're hitting something that's not gonna, like if you're not hitting concrete on the ground, why would they ricochet? They're not. They're gonna soak right into whatever they fucking hit. Now, when you pull it back, there's chances for mechanical error. When you pull something like this back from a swing, then you have issues possibly if you don't know how to pull it back. So just like nunchucks, you got to learn how to use these. And now this thing here is technically, I would say this is not designed for real combat. It's, this here, right, is I don't even think that's metal. If I wanted to, I could probably turn this into something that could be used in combat, but it's mostly a display model type of thing. But it can be used just like a display model can be used. It's just this thing here would probably break off. I don't know. It doesn't feel like metal. It feels like fucking plastic. So if you did get some display model like this, all you'd have to do is replace this part up here. And this is wood, so this will stay. But yeah, these can be used. I would suggest if you ever use something like this to take a handle, a grip arm about right here. When you swing, make sure you go over the top, and so the balls go over and down. That way, if there is something they hit that is hard enough to ricochet, they won't necessarily have enough inertia to bounce back to you anyway, because they just came over the top and straight fucking down with gravity. So the balls will probably push anything it hits in that direction, unless it's a goddamn rhinoceros or something, or a rhino. But Yeah, these things can be used. Don't get me wrong, these can be used. Now this is metal. This, that's plastic. So if you ever bought one of these display models, wherever I got this thing, you would just have to replace this. And then you have to put a real chain link here instead of this thing, because this thing's more like a keychain kind of thing. It's not going to hold. You know, it may on a few thrusts, but it's a good keychain thing. It'll still fucking come loose. See that? There's a thing there. It shouldn't have that. It should be welded shut. But so if you ever do buy these, the chains you don't have to augment. The balls you don't have to augment. You do have to change this. You have to change this ring out here as well. If you replace something like this, then I guess what I'm saying is I'll make a project out of this. I'm guessing what I'll do is I'll turn this display model, since this is real metal, and this is real metal, and this is not. That's the only thing that's not. This can become a thoroughly kill weapon. Now, this isn't a weapons collection that's going to get me into trouble, so I'll show you guys this. This is just some display model I bought. It was pretty cheap. But you can tell they only made this plastic, so they can technically call it a display model. But once you get it, augment it. That's what I'm going to do next, to augment this so that it cannot be broke easy. And then I'm going to start practicing with it like nunchucks. And I'll be honest with you, man, I'm not afraid to fucking get good at something like this with like nunchucks. You know, as a matter of fact, I don't even know if there's anyone that's good at these things, because they are mythical, so to speak, in the warfare legend, to some degree anyway. At least the mace, the one ball or whatever it's called, the one with one spiked ball, it has been used in combat. And it's usually trying to disarm people, because the chain wraps around, you know, their wrist or whatever, and you can yank it. And you can yank their whatever they're carrying, their shield out of the way. You can yank all kinds of shit off of them, weapons, swords, and so forth. So this would probably need to do better. I'm just saying, it may not have a history in warfare. The three balls, I forget what the technical word for this is, but it's probably only because, you know, it was one ball that was needed. You didn't need three of them. Nobody did. It was just a matter of trying to disarm the fucking guy. You don't want to deal with three different physics. You just want one physic, this. One chain, one ball. But yeah, you could get good at it with three. Most of them didn't. It's kind of like what's top 40 music. A lot of people like listening to it. But you know, the truth of the matter is it's rhetorical in nature in comparison. You know, like for warfare, if you would compare top 40 to warfare, you would want to be able to get good at anything you use, but simplistic would be a little easier to handle when you're carrying everything on your back. So no guy from the past wants to use a three-ball mace. There's just too much extra weight. Yeah, it doesn't sound like much, but the shit they had to carry on them at the time, the swords included and so forth, it would just be absurd to add any extra weight. So if they did have one, it would just be a one-ball mace. I guess that's what they call it. I don't know. So that's the reason why you don't hear about these in history. And I'm not really starving. If anyone's in, you know, there is somebody in chat. I'm not really starving. I've gone 2 weeks without food, so I'm good at it. I'm really good at going without food. You know, but that was at a time when shit was just fucking insane when I was younger. And I don't know what was going through my mind. I guess I thought that at the time I was doing some meth. And I think 3 years I did meth, and I was just like, ugh. I didn't like the high. I never did like, you know, the speed version of drugs. Never. But I was trying to get close to a girl at the time that was hot. And of course, she went downhill from the drug itself. So I just left after that and quit. But as a result of that, you know, I learned I already knew how to go without food well. I mean, before that, any drug uses, I could go a week and a half without food. I've always been good at doing that. And, you know, and my body adapts really well to that shit. I have no idea why. And it also helps my back pain and shit to lose weight. So, and back in the day, I used to have back pain too. So I actually was paraplegic a couple times to a certain degree. I mean, I literally had to have people help me to the bathroom a couple times when I was younger. Like, I'm talking 15 years old. All right, guys? Yeah. I already injured my back that long ago. And that's part of my disability. A lot of people don't realize it. Yes, that is part of my disability. It is most of my disability. Because the back problems in life while I was working out, trying to get big, it caused me depression. I fucking got depressed. I got so fucking depressed while I was doing this stuff. I was working out trying to maintain my sanity. The pain was intense. And that was back then. Nowadays, it's more of a different kind of pain. Most of the degeneration is taking place already. And it's not just a nerve issue. Now it's just degeneration and stiffness. So I skateboard and it helps loosen me up. And pretty much that's why I'm longboarding. I'm not really trying to get killed, but I guess I'm going to show you guys I can go as fast as those guys who sled. Eventually, I'm going to show you the guys. I can do that. You know, this 56-year-old, a year into this shit, I can fucking go. If I want to, I could go as fast as Josh Newman. I just have to have at least a plan. You know, look at the road, see where I have to compensate. Just know that there's going to be a lot of minimal sliding going on that you cannot see because it's slalom type shit. It's stuff you see skiers do. You know, I'm that kind of guy. When I fucking roll on a longboard, I'm fearless as long as I can swallow. Now the sliders, that's what their business is. It's all about, hey, I want to just push into a slide right away. That way I can brake faster at the corner and make it look more cool. And I can, no, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I feel like I'm getting just as much as I want out of it. And I can still match their speeds probably. So in the future, you're going to see me do high speeds on longboard. I might not, you know, I'm going to go to Merce Skate. And when I go to Merce Skate, I'm going to customize a special board that is specifically, you know, I guess you could say, not just customized, but, you know, I'm going to look into everything. And I'm going to get the top shits because I really don't want to fuck my line up when I'm going fast. I want to be able to know for a fact that when I am holding my line, if I do get a speed wobble, it will dispel because I'm already knowledgeable how to do that. And, you know, I'm not sure if QE trucks are what I want. They're a little bulky looking. A lot of those, you know, special prototypes that have been put out, like from QE trucks, not so much, you know, I'm sure they probably work great, but they look bulky to me. I don't know if there's anyone, there's 3 people here. But yeah, and the thing is, I love the feeling of the wind passing me. On a skateboard, I don't like the feeling of being in a cold environment like snow, so I wouldn't go snowboarding. You know, I do this shit because I want to be out in good weather and shit when I'm doing stuff. I don't want to be out in cold shit. No, fuck no. And the people that skateboard without pads, that's their business. You know, I don't have an issue with slowing down minimally just because I have bulky pads on. You know, no, the pads aren't going to slow you down that much. You know, the guys who wear the helmets, they're really trying to get so aerodynamic they can pick up speed a lot quicker, and it does work, but it's micro integers at that point. You're not really going to gain too much, you know, from that. And when you're somebody like me, I'm kind of a big guy, so I'm not exactly a skinny longboarder. So I actually, you know, I'm 200 pounds or 195 sometimes. I'll probably be 190 till Friday because I haven't eaten food for a while. But and if you didn't hear the beginning, I'm not starving. I'm just going hungry because I overspent on Amazon. I don't want to bother my financial person because I really don't like to talk to her. Right? I'm a guy, and you know that she's a Democrat, I think, and we don't get along too good. You know, yeah. Why don't you get a new financial person? I plan on it, but in the meantime, I want to sell this property, and I don't want to change shit right now. Well, I don't want to sell this property right away, but I want to fix it up first. So that was the plan, and I don't want to dissuade from that because my objective is to build a proper house in the future that's underground. And because I don't need all this space. I got this house of 2,200 square feet. I don't need it all. So what I want to do is fix it up, either sell it or just make it an Airbnb. Because it's beautiful out here, and people will come out here, and I'm right up on top of a mountain hill. So a mountain, literally, not on top. But anyway, the other day the rains came really hard. They caused mudslides. I actually saw a mudslide back here, and the smoke rose because the ground underneath was still dry. The water just took the mud on top and just pulled everything down that was dry underneath as well. And a giant cloud of smoke came up, and I knew we had a mudslide. I was tempted to go up there, but no, it's too much of a long walk. And plus, it's risky. I live on a steep fucking mountain. And you know what? Those could get bigger. Those mudslides could get bigger. And you know what? That motherfucking slide, or at least part of it, came down right where my valley of my hill mountain is. It could kill me. It could fucking kill me. Those things. But I'm the only house up here that is, well, I'm not the only house that's a second story, but I'm the biggest second story house up here on this hill. So if it did come down, I'd be saved probably just if I was up here. All the mud would be underneath. So I got saving grace in that. But I do want to build a prepper house, and I want to kind of make it really cool. Like what I want to do is I want to get an underground thing with, let's say, 340-foot shipping containers. And what I want to do with those 340-foot shipping containers is I want to put them like in a triangle underneath the ground in a giant circle, underground circle. So first I want to dig the big giant circle, and then I want to put the 340-foot containers down there. Now, in the middle of the 40 containers, I'm going to just build a roof on top of that, so that all the dirt and everything will go on top of that roof and not put any pressure on the fucking 40-foot cargo containers. That way I'll have a middle room in there. And on the outside of those containers around the circle, I'm going to have what you call Gobotron cages, I think they're called, and with rocks all around. And the reason for that is if water ever builds up, it will filter down on the sides of that complex underground, and it won't go into my shit. And that's what I want to do with my prepper house. Now, the good thing about it is the extra space is also going to be covered by that roof from the middle part over all the way around the circle. So I'm going to have kind of a tit-shaped roof around the entire structure. And then when I come out of the rooms, I'll be in this walking area around the circle. There'll be a pathway around it, and certain areas will be bigger because the triangle will offer extra space where the circular part is, and then it'll thin out and where the triangle parts are, but it'll get bigger again. So it'll be a more outdoor weather there if I want it to be. But if I truly need to, I can heat that too. And the cool thing about it is it's going to look to a degree where when you go out there, it's going to have dirt and rocks or pebbles, pea gravel, and plants and shit down there with, hydro. I want to grow indoors down there too in that area. So I'll probably end up having to heat it somewhat when it's cold, but maybe not, because when you're underground, temperatures can, like in caves, they can stay good tempered all the way through if you're careful. Especially if I got heat inside those containers, those rooms, it's going to emanate outward and naturally heat the outside. So in other words, I'm going to have an underground complex with an outdoor underground area. Isn't that? Yeah, I think that would be bomb as motherfucker. And then what I want to do is, for the hatch, it's just going to be kind of like, I don't know, just a tube that comes up, a real simple ladder, or if I ever can't climb the ladder, it will have a staircase, and that's it. And And that's it. It'll have a little staircase and one ladder. In case I want to climb the ladder and get out the middle room, or climb the staircase and come out a different angle. I'm going to have it that way. My dog's trying to catch flies, so if you hear him running around, that's what he's doing. But that's the plan. I want to get this house fixed up, and the next plan is to get that in motion. I'm going to need workers to interior decorate. I'm going to need to figure out what I'm going to do with the attachment downstairs to the old, what do you call it, a manufactured or mobile home down there. It's double wide, but it connects to this foundation, 2-car garage, cement foundation, fucking second story addition part of the house. So what I want to do is I want to kind of make that, you know, mobile home down there, double wide, that's connected to this, and just convert it on the outside and do the interior so that the goddamn thing looks the part, you know, this attachment. And it already got cement pilings for it. This has a cement foundation. It has cement pilings though, and earthquake protection already under it. So it's already kind of ahead of the game for that. So, and I just had it leveled, but it doesn't really matter because it's got better foundation than most of these mobile homes that are around here. See, on this side, the sunny side, which I like better, it's the sunny side. It's not the big mountain on the other side, but it's a big enough. And the fucking, what is it? The sun comes over here, melts quicker over here. And it's, to me, it's more a better weather here because it's not as much in the shade and full of fucking trees and aspens and shit. No, I like it better over here. It's way fucking better on this side. And my view is so kick-ass. I mean, if this guy ever took a couple of those trees down on his property, I'd have the fucking $5 million view. It's a $1, $1. It's a $1 million view now, but it could be a $5 million view if that guy cut a couple of those trees down. Because they ain't the prettiest looking pine trees. They've been damaged by heavy snows and broke the branches and shit. So, I mean, if they left, it wouldn't be a big deal. But anyway, so the plan is to make a prepper house underground. It's circular. That has 3 40-foot storage units that have been converted into houses with a big tit-shaped roof over the entire facility to fit the circular shape of it. And then the middle room would be self-constructed. And then, you know, in the middle of the 3 cargo containers, there'd be a middle room that I could make. And then Gabatron cages with rocks all around it so that it filters water on the sides. And of course, I would have my outdoor sections where I go outside, and even though it's underground, it would feel like, you know, the same temperature or a similar temperature to being outdoors. So I want that, you know, effect, because when you live underground, you got to have the psychological feel that at least, you know, if you can't go above immediately, at least you can go out there and feel like you're somewhat. And you can make hydroponics and grow area down there and shit, and it would look badass. You walk out of the cargo unit room and the fucking shit's full of hydroponics around and lighting right next to the Gabatron cages. When it rains, the water would filter down and water the shit naturally. So it would, you know, without flooding, you know, without flooding you. Because some of the Gabatron cages, I would design them so they go further down than my level flooring. So the Gabatron cages would probably be halfway in the dirt all around. So, and then halfway up. And then of course they go up all the way to the top. And that way all the water would just, you know, circulate down. And it would be awesome. It would feel interesting too. Otherwise, if you live underground, it ain't gonna be neat looking. So you gotta make it neat looking when you're underground, you know. And also, I'd probably, if I didn't do pea gravel on the outside of the where the Gabatron cage rock structures are, cages are, I would put, if not pea gravel, I would put at least some, you know, flagstone or something. And of course, I'd make it to drain towards towards the Gabatron cages. So any water that came in there would drain towards the Gabatron cages. Yeah, I think I got it mentally worked out of my mind exactly what I want to do. And the reason why I want to build a prepper place like that is because it would, you know, when you get older in life, you figure, you know, you got to have some fun. And if shit does go south, you do want a place to go. You just want, you know, extra storage would be there too in that place. You know, I'd be able to just think of how much room would be that. And that would be a lot of square footage. That would be a fucking lot of square footage. Let me curve my hat a little bit, look gangster. It would be badass to be able to fucking do a project like that, finish it, and succeed. And of course, if I fucking document that on my YouTube, I think it'll go viral because no one's ever done any underground stuff like that. So my plan is to do something like that. Of course, I also want to, you know, get a friend to work with me on it. I don't want to just do it all by myself. I want other people's input, ideas, you know, so when I start to build it, I don't just have a bunch of hired hands and it's all me, because it doesn't have to always be all me. I do want other people's input about what would be a good idea and not for my prepper house, because I don't have all the answers when I come up with things, you know, all the time. Unless maybe you're talking about music or something, I think I do there, but when it comes to building, no. I would probably request somebody else's help, definitely. And, you know, not just building help, but mentally, you know, what's a good idea, what's not a good idea. Because I don't want to build all this shit and then find out, oh, dude, you forgot to do this. Why? How'd you forget that? You know, kind of like the same way I forgot how to not save some money for groceries this week. Yeah, similar to that. I don't know how I did that. I know it was a spending spree on Amazon. I just went shit fucking wild on Amazon. I don't know what happened. I mean, I remember saying, okay, I got to pay my phone bill. I got to do this, get some groceries. And I didn't either. I bought my dog shit food. Of course, I got my dog loaded with food. My dog never runs out of food. Me, this week, yeah, this will be about the third time. And of course, usually I call my financial person and say, load me with some money. But I just don't feel like doing it. It's a little bit embarrassing as well. When you overspend like that, it's like, what the fuck? Do I got Alzheimer's, bitch? You know, I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. I was like, I cannot possibly have made that mistake. But I did. So, and I went down and looked for my groceries. I'm like, did I really eat my groceries? Check this out. My dog, I mixed some of my food up with my dog, like chili and stuff in my dog's food just to make it better. And literally, I give my dog more, probably half or more than that of my own fucking food. I ain't fucking kidding around. My dog, and I just do it because sometimes he gets a little sick of the dog food, and I just kind of modify it a little bit, kind of change it up. It's like I'm like a dog chef, you know. But a lot of people say, you shouldn't do that. It's got too much salt, it's got too much this, that, and the other. Dogs are more resilient than you think. Their systems can take quite a bit. No, you don't want to feed them sugar. You don't want to feed them candy bars. But, you know, and you definitely don't want to get them into anything that's, you know, going to be bad, like that you don't know about, but you can't know until you find out sometimes. For instance, if a dog, you know, is allergic to something you don't know about, you will find out, but it will be a surprise to you, you know, because how are you supposed to know a dog's allergic to something until it happens? So my dog got stung by a couple of bees, and like any dog, they're going to have almost an anaphylactic reaction. My dog had that, and I had to take him to the hospital right away. And yeah, there was 4 people in here just now, guys. I ain't fucking kidding. 2 of them left because I didn't mention that there were 4 people in here, but I pretty much know who's coming and going. You know, I pretty much know anyway. But yeah, my dog is a picky eater too. It's real strange. He's a little bit like a cat. You know, I've had dogs like that though in the past, so it's not that unusual. Some dogs they don't really like dog food, period. You know, they don't. They like the human food more, and that's that simple. So anyway, thanks for coming in. At least I got 4 people in today, and let's see, how long have I been on? Maybe I should keep going. Oh, somebody came in here. Okay, Brenda's still here. I didn't even know you were in, Brenda. Thanks for tuning in. Well, I've been looking at property, Brenda, for the past 2 years. I just saw some. Sorry, I got a cough from smoking resin. I just got done looking at some property, but it's a little too close to too much water, and I don't want that. I don't want too much water. So because that would make it a little difficult to do my project if there's saturation all over the place all the time. But the property was fucking marked down past halfway. So and it was up in Montana, I think. No, it was in Wyoming. So I was going to try to hook up with that property just yesterday, but when I realized how much watershed comes down there, and there's a lake there too, I was like, I don't want my proper house there because that's just too much saturation and way too much water. So I might think about it again though. It may be dry. It's a lot of property. It's how much property is it? It's okay. It's 8.5 acres. And only a third of it is on water, but I don't know how dry the other part of the acres is on land, so I would have to go and look at it. And I got the real estate agent's number, and I was going to go up and look at it. As far as this house and the interior goes, I have to get my shit together and just clean it up real quick so that anyone who comes over here to work on it is going to fucking not be insulted by my mess. What about your neighbors, Radical Panda? What about your neighbors? Oh, the neighbors up there? There's no neighbors up there. I mean, there's people, but they're so spread apart. It's not like a housing community. It's fucking yeah. It's straight up, basically it's out in the middle of nowhere. But the fucking property was marked from 80 something thousand down to like 44,000. So I was like turned on by that. Practically I got a woody from that. So I called right away to find out about it. And of course there was an issue with the property. That's probably why they dropped price. It was the arsenic in the water, but they had built it wasn't super high, but it was above norm. So they put in a water filtration treatment center there, and now the water is not like that. So I was thinking, well, shit, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Arsenic isn't a big deal anyway. It's in water all the fucking time. People just don't know it or care. Most people don't even find out that there's arsenic or not in their fucking water. They don't give a fuck. The animals don't even get sick from it. It's not that much. But if it's over norm, yeah, they're supposed to technically get fix it. And to sell the property, maybe it was, I'm not sure. I think it was the county that did it because there's a lot of people around there that drink the well water or something. So, and yeah, there you go. So, and Radical Panda didn't answer me back, or did he? Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's good to have commonality with your neighbors and stuff like that. But I'm a little bit of an oddball, Radical Panda, and not too many people understand my mind. So they'll hear me in one instance, cussing and fucking fuck off, bitch, this, that, and the other. And in the other instance, they'll hear me talking, making sense like I am now on my live stream about certain things that I do that are idiotic, like spending my money on Amazon when I was supposed to go grocery shopping for myself. I mean, I don't get it. Why do I do things? And of course I can get more money. I just have to reiterate, I can get more money. I just don't want to. It's embarrassing. I don't want to fucking, it was the first time I ever really did it this bad too. I knew I just saved $70 for my phone and I didn't even get that. And about, some money for groceries. I didn't even do that. Instead, what I do, I bought dog food on Amazon. And I bought all kinds of other shit on Amazon until my fucking money, my weekly check was gone. So that's why I fucked up. But I just wanted to do the stream to admit that I am fucking, frustrated from getting older. I don't like it. I fucking don't like it. I had memory issues when I was younger though. So it's not like unusually different. Yeah, preppers, some preppers like prepper real estate. I'm not trying to get prepper real estate though. I want mine to be under the radar, Brenda. I want it to be to where somebody goes, oh, there's where this guy lives, but I don't see his house. Bye, Brenda. If somebody drives up on my property, I want them to look at it, looking for my house, and say, well, I don't see a house. But the pizza guy's gonna know, because I'm gonna tell the pizza guy, hey man, just bring the pizza, dude. I'll be there, trust me. My house is there, bro. You just don't see it. And probably won't be no pizza guy if I have a house that far out in the fucking country, because that place was out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I don't know why you're leaving so quickly, Brenda. You just kind of said, research place preparation but real estate, and then she goes by. I don't know, maybe there's a delay, and maybe she thought I was leaving my stream. I just decided to keep going. But yeah, I want some help though to do the prepper house, like people that are knowledgeable using welders. I need some welders to weld my roof underneath the ground there, to seal it across the 3 40-foot cargo containers that are going to be modeled so that and the good thing about it is the tit-shaped round roof that goes over these 3 cargo containers, these triangle shaped. It's their tit-shaped roof what it'll do is I'll be able to weld in and seal it, and then above there will be an attic. There'll actually be an attic in my fucking underground house. There'll be storage up there. So it's a win-win idea that technically, in the way I'm doing it, is it feels right. It feels exactly right. Matter of fact, I might have to design it on paper first. Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know. I was just wondering if you were leaving the stream, but I didn't see anyone leaving. There is 3 in. There was 4 in. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. For somebody that, I am bragging a little, has only 38 subscribers. Shit, I had 4 fucking people in. That is not bad. That is not bad. That's okay. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I got like 7 accounts on Music Maker Jam. People know me from that, and I have mentioned my YouTube channel on there. And then just having them hanging in I don't even fuck with Music Maker Jam accounts anymore. I just make the music and then set it up on my device for my videos. But and it's humorous because it's not humorous. It's just how I do it. It's how I promote myself. I don't want to go on Instagram or Twitter, all that bullshit. Those social media sites to me are boring. I don't want to just find other ways to message people. It's goofy. It's like, hey man, there's 1,000,002 ways to fucking talk to people. Why do I need that many ways to talk to people? No way, dude. So I make music, and that's better than speech. And those accounts are better because then if they want to hear me rant, they can come to my YouTube channel. Also, I have, I think, another way I have accounts coming to me. I forget what I did. Well, anyway, and my old Instagram and Twitter things from who knows how long ago, maybe 3 years ago, they're still hanging there. I just don't comment on them. And that will in itself, at that time I had J.A. Tony Clark was my YouTube channel. So what will happen was people look up J.A. Tony Clark, because that's what I was advertising back then on Instagram and Twitter. And then they'll go to that and eventually they'll see this channel. My new channel, Fessap Twitter by proxy, because it will show up in the algorithm because I'm the same guy. So, you know, I don't even have to advertise that. Hey, but I do have a comment on my last YouTube channel which was called J.A. Tony Clark, that became octagonal forsage and now Fess Up Intruder. And I'm going to stick with Fess Up for now. I don't want to jump to No Pause Clark too quick. But if I did that, it'd be a lot of skateboarding. I might make a separate channel for that. And I'm reading your text. Radical Panda. Yeah, Portland has a lot of problems. They got on the scanner about half as many, maybe, well, a lot of people, like 300, most of the time are on that scanner for Portland, the city of Portland. There's just so much, and that's before protests, okay? For some reason, there's a lot of crime in Portland these days. It wasn't always like that in Portland, so. Yeah, I will. I do, but I'm not gonna do that right now because this video is about me being ignorant on my spending habits. And, but also what I plan on doing to make it better. And that is just, you know, managing myself better. But yeah, I just don't have anything to cuss at today. So you're gonna run into me on days where I don't cuss or I get worked up, you know, Hussy, you're gonna see that those days exist on me. I'm not that kind of person who's just gonna stick with the MO of a fucking nut job or a crazy guy that just wants to cuss everyone out. I do from time to time get like that. I can't believe though I got even 3 people in here. I'm fucking amazed. But that's cool, you know. Yeah, I was actually looking at property in, of all places, Oregon, Radical Panda. And I didn't really want to because it's just so liberalized up there. But it was out in the country, but it was, god damn, man. They got a hell of a desert there too. And, you know, it was dry looking, really dry, and just didn't look physically pretty at all, but it would have been cheap. Thanks, Brenda. I think you know, that's why I haven't done another one yet, Brenda, because this longboard actually is what you want to refer to that kind of skateboarding as. But yeah, I do like the longboarding stuff because it shows that, you know, for somebody, I don't just rant. You know, I'll go out on a skateboard. And of course, when there's a dumb driver, I'll show it. Hey, get up here, you fucking moron. Like that guy, he was such a dumbass. I mean, that driver was so stupid. And, you know, I'll just come out and say it, you know, he's dumb. I mean, how the fuck, and he couldn't even stay close to me when I was skateboarding. I'm like, bro, I'm going to slide just like you, or, you know, I'm going to keep going forward just like you when I fall off the skateboard. Just slam the brakes on, all right? He's just such a pussy. I know all about that, Radical Panda, the violations of our rights. It's consistent. It's, you know, it's an enigma within the cabal as well as the, you know, if you will, separate secret societies which coexist with the cabal and or outside of it. It's rather complex. I'm not going to go into that right now. But, you know, if they want to violate your rights, the first thing they got to do is make sure you have less of them. And one way to do that is to make you all wear masks and tell you to socially distance and not fuck as often. Basically, that's what they're saying. Don't try to find chicks as often. I'm going to go the opposite direction with that. And I'm going to purposely look for chicks. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to fucking do that. Since when? No. I'd rather get sick to fucking, and I'd rather look for chicks and get sick than fucking follow a protocol. And if they try to medically imprison people because they don't want to get tested or get vaccinated, then all hell will break loose. People will get mad like nobody's business. The only ones who won't get mad are the ones who are getting mad at the wrong things, like the BLM. And they will get mad at the wrong things. And as a result, they're being controlled like Manchurian candidates. if they want you to look bad as protesters, they'll just, make you the BLM person. That's how that works. But for me, it's not about protesting. It's about, I'll die for my rights if I have to. If somebody comes in, hey, come here, you didn't get tested, we got to give you a vaccination. I say, suck my dick right off the bat, bro. Suck my dick, bro. That's what I'd say. I'd say, suck my fucking dick, bro. And BROE, and the E has quotes, bro, suck my dick. That's what I'd say if a motherfucking cop came up to me, say, hey, we got to test you, make sure you don't have the virus. Fuck you, bro. Fuck you. Okay, all right, well, see you later. That was a friendly kiss, by the way, Brenda. Thanks for popping in. Who's there, Panda? Come on, Panda, you said knock, knock. Who's there? I'm trying to help you with the joke. I'm waiting for you to respond. Panda said knock, knock. I'm waiting. Radical Panda, come on. What's the joke? Knock, knock. What seems to be the problem? Okay, where's the joke at? Come on, Radical Panda. I did a joke a little bit ago, Radical Panda. You should give me a like for that. It's a funny fucking joke, I thought. Maybe that was the joke, Radical Panda. No, that's not funny. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't be that. I don't think the FBI is going to come knocking at your door for fucking COVID, but somebody might in law enforcement. That's what I'm worried about. Medical imprisonment. Hey, you refuse to cooperate. Well, I have to follow the same rules you do, buddy. Type of bullshit. No, nobody's gonna pull that on me. I'd be like, no, dude, these are rules I don't follow. You come try to arrest me for fucking possibly having a virus or not getting inoculated, suck my goddamn dick, bro. Tannerite? Come on, man, I don't even know that. If that's a joke, I'm not getting it. And what is tannerite? Now I gotta look it up. Hold on, I'll look it up. Come on, microphone. What is tannerite? What is tannerite? Tannerite is a brand of binary explosive targets used for firearms practice. I got a better idea, Radical Panda. You could fill a bumper in your car with the same thing. Make a outward explosion detonation, kind of like a muzzle, but instead it'd be all the way across with little half pipes in it all the way through. Inside you'd load it, and if anybody stopped you and tried to give you medical imprisonment based on you didn't get an inoculation, hey, whoever's gonna stop you is gonna have an issue. That's all I gotta say. I'm just saying, you could technically do that. Technically, I'm not gonna say I would do it, but I'm just saying, technically you could fucking make a bumper on each side of your car that would take out anything in front or back of you. I'm just saying, I mean, if you want to go in that direction with tannerite, you might as well, because you probably drive, Radical Panda. And that's interesting that you say that, Radical Panda, because I actually thought of that a long time ago, just because, there is such thing as corruption within politics, and you could get thrown in jail for not protesting. How about that? How about maybe just not wanting to get inoculation, not wanting to go get tested, they can make a law, and then if you deny it, then you're going to have a felony. Then you're going to go to jail for sure. So they could have a win-win, collect these motherfuckers up scenario. So yeah, I mean, eventually people aren't going to put up with that. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it, but I'm going to sit there and put the idea forward, just like, you know, Radical Panda, that nobody's going to stand for that shit. And the proper community are the first people to admit that. You know, look, if you go back in time, there are people that, you know, they made look really bad, but even the guy they wanted, David Koresh, you know, if he did have the charges of molesting little girls and whatnot pending, they could have picked him up any day he went jogging. But no, they had to wait till he went home. Now, if you look into it, Clinton's goons, 2 of them, were working with the ATF there and shooting bullets back and forth. Now, that's not allowed. I don't know what president is allowed to do that, but his goons, his bodyguards, were allowed to go in there and shoot. So that's not allowed. Typically, you know, an ATF, yeah, but, you know, what they did there was the rudest thing I ever saw. They went in, poked a hole in it, filled it with CF gas, then blew it up, actually set it on fire. Same difference. And then, of course, made up a story that Koresh put gasoline in there and did it. But the truth is, the tank poked a hole in the building, filled it with gas, then set it on fire. That's Clinton, right? That's Janet Reno. That's them. That's their legacy. Now, I don't give a fuck, you know, about some pedo. I hope you do lock them up, throw away the key. But if you don't pick them up the right way, then you end up somehow or another killing all the fucking innocent people in there, which probably were all innocent. Then you know, then you have a problem with me. Then I got an itch in the grind to fucking tear assholes open, okay? Because I don't have to put up with that. And the same with 9/11, you know, don't try to tell me it was Arabs. Yeah, Arabs went on the plane. Yeah, you guys set them up to do that. Manchurian candidates again, if you will. And of course, just to get rid of the trace of $21 billion. Now there's guys out there saying, oh, you can't get rid of that information. It's been processed all over the world and blah, blah, blah. No, they got rid of the most critical documents and critical documentation. That was a detonation. And it was probably a community like control financial things around the world that had to do with 9/11. So, you know, the more this happens, the more they try to take our rights away and try to hide and clean up their cookie jar raids, the more pissed off we get, right? And that's what I am. So I'm pissed off about it, yeah. And so what I do is I just mind my own business. I have my nest here, and this is where if anyone comes on my property and tries to make a case about something that is not factual or based in fact, and they come in and they try to appropriate me in custody. Why? Because I didn't get a test for COVID or some bullshit new law. Then people will get, you know, put away. You know, there will be body bags. Now, I even have signs on my fucking property. You know, come on my property, and you know we're sick of cleaning up the bodies at that point, bitch. You know, now it doesn't mean that UPS guy has an issue. It doesn't mean any of these people I know have an issue. But there's one person that probably was a kid, didn't know any better, came on our property, stole a weed plant, and my camera ran out of memory, and I didn't know. I couldn't even see who it was. He got lucky. But it wasn't an adult. If it was an adult, he had to be drunk out of his mind to take my fucking pot plant. No animals out here will eat marijuana. Did you know the resin in marijuana is designed by design to be distasteful to animals? By design. So one guy that I knew that had come on my property, I asked him about it, and I said, "Did you fucking, you know, take my pot plant, dude? Because I only have 2 friends that come over here right now." And oh shit, my fucking all right, my shit's running out of energy. Hold on, guys. And I asked, "Did you take my fucking property?" Oh, come on, bitch. Where's your fucking shit at, cocksucker? Fuck. It's all tangled. All right. So, anyway, so I